Afternoon, Michael. How we doing?
Hey, like $1 million, baby. Like $1 million. How are you?
Good. We made it safely back from Las Vegas.
We did. Uneventful-ish trip.
Yep. I didn't leave the hotel.
I left for dinner
Yeah.
once.
Good for you.
It was good. Yeah. I lost zero money in the casino, $200 in a poker game in our room.
Yep.
But I can handle that.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have been the game to begin with. So.
Yeah. So what's been going on?
You know, I want to get down to business here because
Cut to the chase.
I watched episode 3, or I listened to it. I didn't watch it. I listened to episode 3, and I'll be very honest with you. I was disappointed in our performance. We're capable of so much more, and we left a lot on the table. I feel like we had, the conversation took us to a lot of great places, and we didn't deliver for the 3 people who listened to us.
And those 3 people are important.
I want to make it worth their while. So I've got some notes here. I think we need to revisit some of the topics of conversation.
Who are we? What are we about?
Yeah, and ultimately we didn't share the way that we're capable of sharing. We didn't educate the way we're capable of educating. It just was it was an off day, but it happens. So
got to move on.
At least we didn't steal somebody's signs and get kicked out of the league.
This is true.
Topic number 1. We talked last week. You talked about bite-sized Stevie.
Yeah, the little midget.
The midget, yes. And we talked about whether that would be allowed.
Well, actually, he may not have been a little midget. He may have been an average-sized midget.
Okay, well, so here's my question for you. Was he a midget or was he a dwarf? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, that's something to do with the size of their head, isn't it?
All their heads, Ed. So I learned this at midget wrestling because a dwarf got into the ring with the microphone. I told you it was very foul. And there was a dwarf who was wrestling against a midget that night.
Who was bigger?
Well, so again, depends on what we're talking about. So from what I understood from midget wrestling, a dwarf is a person who's shrunken from normal size. Proportionately, correct, right? And a midget is smaller in size disproportionately. Sometimes they have a larger torso and other things will be smaller.
Huh.
And so, again, these foul professional midget wrestlers or dwarf wrestlers were talking smack to each other. And then the dwarf told the midget that, or no, maybe it was the other way. I don't even know. It came down to the size of their other head. And that was what one had over the other was that,
You've got a big head.
You're small all around. But
You've got a small head.
I'm big where it counts, kind of thing. So yeah, exactly, right.
The old twig and berries.
Yeah, Mike, you're not very tall. No, not standing up. I'm not. No. So, anyway,
well, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
I'm not a dwarf nor am I a midget, but I feel like we should start there. So,
why are you defending yourself all of a sudden? No one said you were.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, sorry. Next thing that we should have expanded upon. All right.
Okay.
It's something that's bothered me for a long time.
All right.
We talked about dating.
Uh-huh.
And you and I both talked about the fact we didn't really quote unquote date. We talked about first dates.
Keep it moving.
Very few first dates. Very few dates in general. But you watch television, and you would think that people sit down at a dinner at a restaurant with a tablecloth and have a waiter and they have awkward conversation. You would think that happens every night. It doesn't. I don't know anybody.
Don't you just swipe left these days?
Nowadays, you swipe left. Back in our
right.
day, you and your buddies would go out to the local establishment in a pack, wolf pack, and then the ladies would go out in their own little pack.
And then you pick them off.
Throughout the night, yeah.
Pick off the weak ones.
Yeah, the weak ones, yeah.
Weak-minded.
I like to think we're picking off the attractive and brilliant ones.
Yeah.
But that was, so the dating thing, I feel like across the board, television
You're very fired
movies,
up about this,
television and movies. Well, I'm working on, month number 2 of Hallmark Christmas movies right now. So again, it's not real life, right? Across the board, television and movies set bad expectations that ultimately people from little kid age growing up get programmed into their brain, and that's what they think is going to happen, and that's what they expect, and that's not real life. It's fake. It's my son's into the superhero movies. Tony Stark perhaps could be a real person, but Iron Man is fake, right? It's
Correct.
fake.
I think
No, like you don't get bit by a spider and then all of a sudden, like you have super strength and can walk on walls and swing through New York City.
probably
It's
have
not,
to get your arm,
it's
chopped
I
off.
got
Or
bit by a
something.
spider on my hand one time. You know what happened? It swelled up about 3 times the size, massive amount of pain for like 2 weeks. It was
And you look like a midget or a dwarf.
yeah,
One
part
of them.
yes,
It was disproportionate.
a disproportionate, gigantic. But I sure as hell wasn't a superhero. And you talk about these superheroes, that is as fake as some of these Hallmark movies, as Friends, as whatever TV show is on now that I don't watch. And it's as fake as the damn reality TV. How do you get off calling yourself reality TV? Like MTV, they had The Real World, right? And then they had Road Rules. And then they had to have a real world road rules challenge because they realized that they had fucked up these kids' lives so bad by taking them out of the real world and out of reality that they were almost like responsible for them. And all right, well, let's figure out something else that we can do so that these people don't die because there's no way they could function in the real world now.
One that's actually real.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you have to say about that? Because you see how I feel.
Well, as you know, over the years, we've interviewed thousands of people.
Thousands.
And I think that, maybe this isn't as topical now, but 10 years ago, maybe, people would come in interviewing, and I always used to call it the Chandler syndrome because they watched the show Friends. And if you watch the show Friends, which probably everyone has at some point, you know all the characters. And then, Chandler, he's in that nice office in New York City with the nice backdrop there in Manhattan, and he's always at the coffee shop. Yeah. Have I talked about this before?
I don't know if you've talked about it. You and I have talked about it, yeah.
But anyway, he goes to the coffee shop at 4 p.m. He's always got loads of cash. He's got, floor tickets to the Knicks. He's like, hey, Joey, you want to go to the basketball game? Yeah. He's unemployed.
Yeah.
And he's living the life. You don't ever really know what he does. And a lot of kids want that job. And what I have to explain to them is, it's not fucking real.
It's make believe.
They film it in LA.
Yeah.
It's not, none of it's real. It doesn't exist. So anyway, that's how I feel about it.
An apartment like that one that they had on that show in New York City,
would be
even in that time,
$20,000 a month.
Ridiculous. No way. Like I was doing all right when I lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a college town, so it's fairly inexpensive.
Yeah.
And I had what I thought was a nice apartment, vaulted ceiling, fireplace, screened-in porch. And this is nice. Not near as nice as that. And the day I moved in, this is funny. The day I moved in, I was carrying stuff up from the car. I was on the 3rd floor. So it was nice. I could look out over the whole complex. I could see the swimming pool and the hot tub, right? So I thought it was living large. It was me and my dog at the time. And it's the day I move in, bringing stuff up and down the stairs into the bedroom. It was a one bedroom, and then like another room that had, like a little bar with the refrigerator and
of course,
stove.
they had a bar.
Stove didn't get used one time in the 2 years I lived there.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
But I was opening and closing the bedroom door. I was bringing stuff in and out. I had the dog in the bedroom. And again, day I moved in, I go to open the bedroom door after the 70th trip upstairs, and the door fell off the wall, came off the wall.
Yeah.
Day I moved in. And in my head at the time, I was 25 maybe, I said to myself, shit, I can call the maintenance guy to come and put this door back up. But realistically, it's just me. And opening and closing a door is just one other thing I have to do every day, so fuck it. And so I took the door, and I put it on the closet out on the porch. In the 2 years that I lived there was no bedroom door. It eliminated one obstacle from my day every single day.
Bachelor life right there.
Yeah. And the place I had on Friends was way nicer.
To be fair, in my house, there are lots of doors that are completely unnecessary. We actually even have a swinging door. And the only time that it becomes relevant is when it accidentally swings shut. And then you just prop it back open again. That should just be a hole to walk through.
Yeah.
But
Unnecessary doors.
Yeah.
Unnecessary doors. So that's what I felt bad about when I listened to episode 3. I felt like we left a lot on the table and we really shortchanged.
And now it's back on the table.
It's on the table again now.
Right.
So what else is going on in the world? College football national championship.
Yeah, that was fun for the most part.
For Louisiana State University fans.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any doubt? I mean, for a minute, I was like, maybe, Clemson, Trevor Lawrence hasn't lost a game since he was in high school. Maybe they pull something out, but not in the cards for those guys.
No, LSU is basically a pro team this year.
Did you see Odell Beckham is warrant out for his arrest as of today?
Yeah, I saw that. Some battery or something.
Yeah, because he slapped a police officer in the ass in the locker room on
that's
video.
what it was for?
Yeah, he hit a police officer. Why did they not just arrest him then?
Because the police officer wasn't that bothered about it, and then probably said, "Hang on a minute,
I don't know.
I can make a little change here."
They said those police officers, they were bothered by the fact the kids were smoking cigars in the locker room.
And Odell Beckham Jr. was handing out cash on the field. Did you hear that?
Fake cash.
Oh, it was fake cash?
No, it was not.
Real
That's
cash.
what they said. They said it was fake cash. Oh, it was
it.
fake cash. And then Joe Burrow went on ESPN and
said,
and said, I got real cash, but I'm not a student athlete anymore, so I'm fine.
Peace.
Yeah, I think that college athletes should be paid. 1,000,000%. They should totally be paid. The amount
Paid on
of
performance. So the guys on the rowing team, they get like, Wendy's or something.
When I was in college, University of Kansas, Division I school, I went to school full time and I worked full time at the pizza place with Frank. And two of my roommates played on the football team. I mean, it's Kansas football, but still Division I football. So, but I remember I would get up in the morning to go to class or work, whatever I had that day. And those guys were already gone. They were already gone for the day. And then I would come home at night after going to school and going to work, and they weren't home yet. So they were putting in more time as an athlete than I was putting in. I was earning money. I was earning a lot of money. I was earning money. And had I not worked at the pizza place and brought food home every night, these guys would have starved half the time. They didn't have any food.
And
didn't have any money to buy food.
Not to mention the schools are making millions and millions of dollars.
Millions.
I had a guy in my office years ago that played at UGA, and he told me that CBS paid Georgia and Florida $31.5 million each for that game every year, and that was a while back.
World's largest outdoor cocktail party. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. The kids,
they should pay him, especially when the stud who's going to make a lot of money in the NFL breaks their leg.
Yeah.
Blows their knee out
Terrible.
and can't play anymore.
The kid from Altua,
He'll be back. He's not made like normal humans.
Well, he's lucky that he's playing in 2020 and not 1990, whatever it was, when Bo Jackson had the same thing happen. And that Bo was the best athlete that you or I've probably ever seen, and he was never the same again. So. Yeah. So that was college. We got the NFL playoffs this week.
Yeah. By the time people hear this, it will probably be all said and done. So I'm going to make my prediction right now.
Prediction. So you got the Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Kansas City.
Close blowout. What do you think? It's at Arrowhead.
I think Kansas City wins by 10.
Okay. I'll take the over. I think they win by more.
Okay.
High-powered offense, and the defense is feeling good.
All right.
Except for the first quarter last week.
Yeah.
All right, then we got Green Bay heading out west to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Garoppolo dates porn stars.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers dates movie stars. So,
similar. You hear the joke about the male porn star's penis?
No.
It's a real knee slapper. Anyway, I think the 49ers win that one. Mainly because they're at home, and I think it's tight. I think they win by a field goal.
All right, that'd be interesting to see.
Last minute.
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take Green Bay in that one.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I think Green Bay's a little overrated.
Yeah, but he's got those State Farm commercials.
That he does. But he drives safely.
Yeah, he drives safely. So we'll see. You're big.
And then who's gonna? So I think it'll be.
Too?
I think it'll be Kansas City, San Fran, Super Bowl. Kansas City wins.
All right. I'm gonna pull the Kirk Herbstreit. I'm not gonna pick the game because I'm be rooting for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Should that happen?
Bad karma.
Yep. So, but I called my sisters yesterday. They're in Kansas City. I said, "Are you going to be in town Super Bowl Sunday?" Because I'm not going to go to the Super Bowl because that sounds like a massive pain in the ass. But
it is. I've been to 3 of them.
They both have real nice TVs, and I know that the refrigerator will be full. And so, and then
fun fact: the Super Bowl, as a viewing spectator in the stadium, probably the worst game ever to go to. The TV timeouts are redonkulous.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there for 6-7 minutes in between plays, and all the energy goes out of the building. And then all of a sudden, the guy comes on the field and spins his hand around, and that means you got another minute before they're going to place the ball down.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to I went to 2 Super Bowls before I actually went to the one I actually wanted to go to, which was a few years ago in Atlanta.
Do you want to talk about that one? Or no?
Not really, but it
Atlanta
was the
versus
greatest night
New
of my
England?
life, other than my wedding. Greatest night of my life until it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I will never go to a Super Bowl ever again unless the Falcons are there, which means that I may never go to another Super Bowl again.
You're done. You're out.
Yeah, watch it on TV.
I'd rather watch, especially football. I'd rather watch from home or a nice sports bar or something like that than actually be in the city. So when I was in Kansas City, my brother-in-law worked for the Chiefs. So I had season tickets for 3 years, and it got to the point where going to the game was almost like a burden. Like,
Absolutely.
Like, hey, I got 3 other tickets. Anyone want to come with me? Like, nah, we've been with you 4 times already. It's a burden. I used to take my son. This is great. So when Mikey was little, he's probably a year and a half old, maybe. He was less than 2 years old. I had season tickets, and Sunday when the Chiefs had a home game, kind of became like a day off for Amanda. Well deserved. She was with him 24/7 every other day of the year except for Chiefs game day. So I would take him to the stadium with me, which was good. It forced me to be responsible. But it was funny because I had the hangover satchel that he would sit right in front of me, in the little baby carrier.
Beyond.
Yeah, so I could still socialize and have my hands free, and Mikey would just look around, and he would have fun for a little guy. One time we're at it.
Did you actually accidentally put your beer down, walk off, and realize that you accidentally put your baby down?
No, not. He was strapped to me. I couldn't put him down. He was strapped to me. But the little satchel had a spot in front for his bottle. His bottle didn't go there. No. But so one time, halfway through, second quarter, whatever, I gotta go to the bathroom. So my seats were Arrowhead, second level, or wherever they were. So we go to the restroom. An NFL football game, and they're playing the Raiders or someone. So it's a packed game. There's about as much turnover in the men's room as there is in the entry level outside sales 100% commission, right? And so we're standing in line, me and Mike, and he's strapped to my chest. And I finally get to where I'm next in line, and the stall opens up. So it wasn't a urinal, it was a stall, right? And so I go in and undo my fly, and he's strapped to my chest. So he's strapped to my chest, and undo the fly and start trying to relieve myself.
And that's when you realize you were a dwarf.
No, yeah, it was huge. But he's like kicking, right? So he's like kicking and moving around, and so I'm like, hey, whoa, easy, buddy. Oh, buddy, calm down. Whoa, easy, stop. Whoa, calm down. And I'm talking to him, right? And I'm not thinking that there's anything even wrong with this until I finish, I zip up, I walk out of the stall, and the traffic has stopped. There's 26 dudes standing in the restroom staring. Like, they wanted to see what the hell was going on in that stall. Because you get a picture, you can see my 2 feet, and then you just hear me talking and saying, whoa, stop, whoa, easy boy, down, stop, no, that hurts, Jesus. And you walked out, and there was a round of applause, but it was that's football at the stadium right there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, when I start talking to myself in the bathroom at home, they know what's going on. So.
Stop drooling.
Why are you drooling? Is that your foot? So, yeah.
Why are you crying? Oh, that's great. Hey, switching gears. This is a good for us to talk about. A little US, little Great Britain.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Harry and Meghan peacing out? We're out of that game.
That's tough. I think that I don't know that it was his decision. But then again, why marry the prince if you don't want to be a princess? Like, it's kind of part of the deal. I don't know. Like, oh, Mike likes to have a cold beer every now and again. well, if you're not down with that, that's probably not your guy.
Can you marry a stripper?
Yeah, right. Well, no, not me. What?
That was just an analogy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like, so if I'm gonna marry a stripper and then be upset that she goes to work, I probably shouldn't have married a stripper.
Right.
If you're gonna marry a prince and then,
so you think that was Meghan's decision?
Well,
I have an entirely different theory, by the way.
Well, so I'm excited to hear that. You're obviously closer to the action over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 2 steps away.
But everyone in England knows each other, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I feel like if you're married for what, a year? How long has it been? A year and a half?
Yeah, probably longer than we think. Probably over a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably like 2 summers ago, maybe.
You can't be too surprised. You can't be too surprised that now I'm under a microscope because I'm in the royal family. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But again, so are kings and queens and princes and princesses. That's a
basically
fucking
reality
odd thing
TV
as well. Yeah, exactly. So you reap what you sow. When you fish in that kind of a sea, that's the kind of fish you catch.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a little deep here.
Go.
Here's my
do.
theory.
I love
it. Right. So you got these folks, tabloid people, scum of the earth, pretty
Paparazzi.
much. Paparazzi. So I'm Prince Harry. My mom gets basically killed by them, right? When I'm how old? 6?
He was little. Yeah, he was little.
I mean, that has to be the worst thing that can happen to a little boy or girl, right?
Yep.
So your mom, who you love more than anything in the world, gets killed by these guys. And then you get married, presumably the next girl that he's really fallen in love with. And she's catching all this shit from the tabloids. And they're awful in England. They write horrible things. And I think he's like, hang on a minute. I've seen this before,
But,
and so I'm out.
Don't you think that it'll be magnified now?
Probably. That's the thing. It's only going to probably be worse.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to get,
What are you? So
get my opinion out
you
there.
think they'll stay? You think they'll stay in England, or are they going to head to Iceland or something?
Said they're going to Canada.
Canada.
I mean, that's if you want to go to a place where people are just very nice and really don't fuck with you, that's a good spot.
It's cold.
Well, yeah, it is cold. You know what Canadians like to do it doggy style, Mike? So they can both watch the hockey.
Jesus. Why don't you show us your impression of Canada? You're going to have to watch the video. You ain't getting that one on iTunes right there. It's beautiful. I went to the liquor store with our friend Brad, who's from Canada.
I don't believe you went to a liquor store.
I did, and we were checking out, and a bottle of Captain Morgan. Someone wanted rum, and a handle of Captain Morgan was $30, whatever it was. And he says, "You know how much this is in Canada?" And I go, "I have no idea. I've never bought Captain Morgan in Canada. I buy Labatt Blue in Canada." He says, "What you buy up there?" And he said, $70. Same exact thing, $70. And he looks at me and goes, "But we have free healthcare."
Hey, got to take the pros with the cons, baby.
That's it, baby. That is it. Now, what else? You got anything else on your list here this week? I feel like we've redeemed ourselves from an off day last week.
Yeah,
so
we tried too hard last week.
I think so. Yeah.
I had no plans of talking about anything today, and my favorite story is you in the pisser at the game. That's fantastic. I've never heard that one.
Really?
Maybe I have. I don't know, but it was better the second time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
taming that beast.
Yeah, he was a little son of a bitch. Kids are something, man. Like, dogs are tough because they're mobile the whole time. Kids are tough when they get mobile. Like, people have no idea. That first time you wake up and your kid has gotten out of its crib and it's like staring you in the eye, scares the shit out of you.
It's like a real human now.
And like I typically would hear, Mikey was my first, and typically you'd hear him from the other room saying, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy," and then I remember waking up and sunny out, like Mikey didn't yell and scream, and then your first thought is he okay? And then I roll over, and I see from like the eyeballs up, just staring at me.
Yeah, there's a
And
little
it's like,
little
oh,
period of
shit.
time there where they turn into little
And
ninjas.
and then it's like game over. Game has changed now
Yep.
because this kid can escape.
And you have 2 kids.
I do.
You're still in the man-to-man, bringing it back to football. I have 3. You have to go zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't. Yeah. You got lucky. You get 2 healthy kids, and one of each. You know, they're semi-intelligent. I guess probably as intelligent as I can make, and they're good kids. They got good hearts. They're pains in the ass.
They're
you
fantastic.
know, we all were. And so I lucked out, and we can still play man to man. You're absolutely right. So. What's the strategy? So the twins are 2.
1.5.
2.5. Jack is 6.
1.5.
You're like them. You count in halves with your age.
Well, they're about to be 7 in June, so you know.
All right. What's the strategy? So I know the strategy is stay at the office as long as you can and let Kelly deal with it. But once you get home and you got to go into the zone coverage, what do you do?
Drink. You just dull the pain. You know what I mean? And it's funny because people will come over to the house and, Jack will be standing on the back of the couch with like a sword. The twins all have gone into the kitchen drawer and one of them has a spatula. The other one has, who knows what. And they're like fighting and then they've opened up the dog's food and they're dumping that on the floor and they're just going bananas. And, Kelly's brother was there like a month ago and he's like, whoa, man, how do you put up with this? And I was like, what? Oh. And then I was like, it's kind of like if you live next to like a construction site. You just get used to it after a while. Yeah.
Train tracks. And
you're like, oh, hang on. That's not a spatula. That's a steak knife. All right. Time to take action.
It is. And if you want to fight it, there's always something you could get fired up about or scold them about or yell at them about. But then it's like, who wants to do that? I'd rather just be numb and just let it happen in the background and you'd be all right. I mean, I think the things that we did when we were kids that we survived.
Right. That's kind of my theory as well.
Yeah. Like, shoot. We've told some super stories that we've done as adults and we're still here. Like things you do as a kid. Kids are resilient.
Yeah.
So Vivian had a surgery, 10 months old. She had what they call tethered spinal cord. Her spinal cord was attached to her tailbone, right? So she'd go into the hospital. They had to cut into her back. They had to remove 2 vertebrae. They had to untether the spinal cord, right? And then sew her back up.
Jesus.
So this is major back surgery, right? The day after the surgery, we're in University of Miami Children's Hospital, whatever. The day after the surgery, she is standing up in the crib, like
What's
dancing,
up?
moving her little ass around and singing as much as she could sing at 10 months old, right? Think about how long it takes for an adult to recover from back surgery.
Yeah.
Like unreal. Kids are resilient. Kids are freaking tough, and they can handle 2, 3 of them run around bouncing off each other. They're gonna be all right.
They'll be fine.
Yep.
They'll be fine.
And at the end of the day, Eddie, we'll all be fine. We'll all be fine.
Or we won't. Those are the 2 options.
And if we aren't, we won't even know it.
Exactly.
So,
well, it was nice chatting to you today, Michael.
I agree. Good time, good day. Happy whatever day this meets your ears. And we'll see you later.
All right. It's only funny because it's true.
Always.